Today we're going to be checking out our top 5 cymbal packs for beginners. Let's go. Welcome back to the Gear4music Drums channel, guys. My name is Theo, and today we are talking about something incredibly important, which is cymbals. And specifically, we're looking at our top 5 favorite cymbal packs for beginners. Now, when we're picking cymbals, it's difficult because cymbals sound the way they sound. There's nothing that you can do to change the way a cymbal sounds. Historically, beginner cymbals have not been the best received, but in recent years there's been some really good modifications in manufacturing, which means that we can get really nice sounds from cheaper materials or cheaper alloys, which means that the cymbals are a little bit more accessible at a nicer price point. Now, when we're talking about materials, we want to talk about alloy and the type of alloy that the cymbal is made out of. In most cases, high quality cymbals are made out of bronze, and bronze is made from copper and tin and gives you that quintessential cymbal sound, which has been manufactured for literally 500 years from when they were making cymbals in Turkey. And cheaper cymbals usually are made out of brass, or like a sheet of brass, which is then worked, and brass is made out of copper and zinc. So those are your two differences. You'll notice that brass is a little bit more yellow, and that's because of the zinc. Like the cymbals look a little bit more yellow and goldy color, and with a bronze cymbal, they're a little bit more fair. The yellow isn't as prominent in the cymbal. So let's jump into our first cymbal pack for beginners. Let's go. So the first cymbal pack that we're going to be looking at today is the Sabian SBR Performance set. Now, this set comprises of a pair of 14-inch hi-hats, a 16-inch crash cymbal, and finally over here on the right, we have a 20-inch ride cymbal. These are really quintessential cymbal sizes, something really common, and it's a really good place to start, especially if you're looking at beginner cymbal set or upgrading the cymbals that you have on an existing drum kit, because generally the cymbals that you'll find on a full drum kit where you get everything together usually are not the highest quality, so this is a good step up. These cymbals are made out of brass. So as I said before, we've got bronze and we've got brass. The SBR stands for special brass or special brass alloy, which is the alloy that Sabian have come up with for these entry-level cymbals. These cymbals replace the Sabian Solar series, and they have been improved in this new iteration, which is SBR. They've got some great lathing on them, and they've been hammered as well, which means they give a really nice, bright response. And for brass cymbals, they do have a really decent amount of decay as well. One thing that I would definitely say about this cymbal pack, which I really love, is the bell on the ride cymbal. I think it's a really nice, piercing, cutting bell, which is really good for practicing those offbeat ride bell patterns. You have a really nice separation on the cymbal there. The hi-hats are actually really nice and crisp as well. You can get a really quick and clear sound from them. So that is the Sabian SBR Performance set. We do stock also a promotional set. So the promotional set we'll link down in the comments, and that set comes with a free splash cymbal. So for the same price you would normally get these cymbals for, you get a free splash cymbal included in that as well. Next up, we have a bit of a wild card, not your traditional cymbal set, but definitely something that we are seeing is becoming more and more popular over recent years. So we have the Gear4music low volume cymbal set. Now, as you can see, these cymbals have loads and loads and loads and loads of holes drilled in them. And what that does is it basically reduces the volume of the cymbal by around 80%, giving you a far more effective way to practice quietly. Now, what makes these cymbals important for practice is that you still get a real feel from the cymbal. So the rebound of the cymbal is still completely natural, and the feeling of where you're hitting the cymbal is completely natural. But it's much, much quieter. So you can practice at home and not disturb anyone. You can also put mesh heads on your whole drum kit, and you can put these cymbals on, and it's going to be 80% quieter. It's not going to disturb the neighbors, and you'll be able to practice much, much later into the night. The cool thing about these cymbals is they respond just like normal cymbals. So the bell of the ride cymbal feels like a bell of a normal ride cymbal, and it also get a slightly different tone because of where the bell is positioned, and it's slightly thicker than the rest of the cymbal. The hi-hats, you're still going to be able to step the hi-hats. You're still going to be able to get hi-hat barks, which is really, really useful. I know, like from other practice tools, that sometimes the hi-hat can let you down, but these feel and respond exactly the same as a normal pair of hi-hats. If you're someone looking to quiet down your drum practice, these are definitely the cymbals for you. So next up is a lesson in pronouncing the names of cymbal brands. So this is the Paiste, not Paiste, the Paiste 101 Universal Cymbal Pack. Now this is a brass cymbal pack, very similar to the Sabian SBR. We have a 14, a 16 and a 20 inch, again, exactly the same as the Sabian SBR. These cymbals sound great for brass cymbals. One thing about Paiste is they're very, very, very famous for making incredibly well-crafted cymbals out of lesser alloys, or alloys which include less tin. So they make some incredible cymbals out of BA alloys, and BA is 92% copper and 8% tin. People would normally say that the industry standard is 80% copper and 20% tin. But Paiste have made some of their best and the most beautifully crafted cymbals out of what a lot of people would say is a lesser alloy. What Paiste have proven over the years is that the alloy doesn't really matter as much as the craftsmanship and how you craft the cymbal. And you can tell that within this Paiste 101 cymbal set, because it is a lesser alloy, but the cymbals still sing and sound absolutely amazing. One thing I really love about these cymbals, as well as the lathing and the hammering, which is done impeccably well, and these cymbals are made in Germany, is the bell size on these cymbals. So these cymbals have a larger bell than what we've seen previously, which means they're louder, which means the cymbals just have a higher volume, especially when crashing on the bell, which is great for beginners. You want to have that nice piercing sound. You want to have a really nice definition between the edge of the ride cymbal and the bell of the ride cymbal. Next up, we have the Meinl HSC Complete Cymbal Set. Now, this cymbal set definitely looks different to the rest. We have a lot more heavier lathing on these cymbals, and the hammering is a little bit more sporadic. It's all machine made in Meinl's factory in Germany, Gutenstetten. These cymbals are definitely thicker and heavier than some of the other ones we've seen. So this means they kind of have a little bit more of a sweeter decay. I would say they're probably a little bit higher in pitch as well. I know Meinl takes cymbal manufacturing very seriously. I've been to the cymbal factory myself, and the attention to detail is absolutely extraordinary. In this cymbal set, similar to the other ones, we've got 14-inch hi-hats, 16-inch crash cymbal, and a 20-inch ride cymbal. My favorite thing about this cymbal pack is definitely the hi-hats. Sometimes with a brass cymbal set, you'll find that the hi-hats kind of get this whingy overtone, especially when you press them together. You don't get that tight, crisp sound, but these hi-hats are really tight and really crisp and sound like a much more expensive pair of hi-hats for sure. So last but definitely not least, we are checking out the Zildjian I family standard gig pack. Now the I series is a newer series of cymbals for Zildjian. It kind of sits just after the entry level. It's like a slightly more premium cymbal than some of the Z series stuff. And it's really great for people that are starting to get serious about their drumming. One thing you will notice about these cymbals is they are bronze. And one way we can tell that is the color of the cymbal is definitely leaning towards a more copper tinge. And that is because these cymbals are made of a B8 alloy bronze, which means they're 92% copper and 8% tin. These cymbals sound really great and really sweet. Definitely starting to feel a little bit more premium than some of the cymbals that we've tried today. You have a really sweet ride bell on this ride, and it has a really long decay. Quite a nice, crisp sounding crash. Some of those mid-range overtones are now missing, and we're just getting a really nice, clean crash sound. And finally, the hi-hats are really nice and crisp, very responsive, really nice when stepped, no weird overtones, and we get a really nice hi-hat bark as well. The thing about cymbals, guys, is it's really subjective. One person might love the sound of a cymbal and another person might absolutely hate the sound of the cymbal. And that is how it goes, however far you are up the chain. Some people have brand loyalties, for example. Zildjian have just celebrated their 400th anniversary, so happy birthday to Zildjian. So you know if you're picking up a Zildjian set, you're in good hands. But even now, there are people that really love Sabian or really love Meinl or really love Zildjian or Paiste or whoever it is. There's so many cymbal brands and they all make absolutely fantastic cymbals. With cymbals, it's just about exploring your sound and finding out what you like. What I liked when I was 12 years old is definitely different to what I like now when I'm 28 years old. Please leave us a comment down below, letting us know what you thought was your favorite. And as always, please don't forget to like and subscribe so you can catch more content like this in the future. I've been Theo. Have a great day. Bye.